Have you ever felt like you were created for more? Like there was a bigger purpose waiting for you to step into? Welcome to A Dose of Belief, the podcast that fuels your faith, sharpens your mindset, and equips you to boldly live in your purpose. Each week, I'll bring powerful insights, set up dynamic interviews with high achievers, entrepreneurs, and leaders who turn belief into breakthrough. This isn't just motivation, it's your weekly reminder that you were made to make a difference. I'm your host, Christian Martinez, and you are listening to A Dose of Belief. Welcome to this week's episode of A Dose of Belief. I'm excited to be with you today. Today, we're going to be talking about embracing mistakes. Now, the truth is we all are going to make mistakes, but mistakes don't disqualify you. They actually refine you. If you take the time to purposefully grow and you take purposeful risk to grow, mistakes are going to be the tuition to your wisdom. Now, today, I want to talk to you about a few things that really stood out to me as I was going through the episodes. One of the things that I get excited about doing is as I prepare these episodes, I go through and I watch movies and I think back about movies that made a tremendous impact in not only my entrepreneurial journey, but the way that I look at things and the way that I think about things. And one of the things that I wanted to share with you is how mistakes sometimes are things that we are worried about when things go wrong. But when you take purposeful risk and you grow, man, you see a tremendous shift in the way that you show up. You tend to take more risk. You tend to want to see if this is going to lead to success and if you need to make adjustments. Most of the time, people struggle because what they believe life is going to look like is perfect. It's like golden roads, yellow brick roads, things that are easy. And one of the movies that depicts this is Founder, the movie where Ray Kroc, he finds the McDonald's brothers, he's working with them, he's talking to them, and at every point that he tries to go fast or to go big, they tend to shut him down. They're like, hey, you're not the owner, you're not this, and they tend to go back and forth. And what I will tell you is at the beginning of the film, and I'll show you a clip here from Founder, he's in the bank trying to get a loan, and he's talking about all of these things, the growth, the amazing expansion, and the guy gives him a hard time. He's like, wait a minute, you can't not do this. Do you own the property? Do you own the business? And I will tell you, the struggles, the setbacks, they can be discouraging, but Ray does not let that failure change the way that he shows up. He continues to learn. He continues to identify things that he can do to get better. And every mistake sharpened his strategy. His passion became the thing that helped him steward the vision. The risk that he used exposed the gaps that were there and some of the challenges that he may face along the way. Mistakes are often the tuition that we pay for wisdom. Now, the second thing that I want to talk to you about today is practicing press-on thinking. Now, this is a concept that I learned by listening to people like John Maxwell, by listening to people like Tony Robbins, like Dean Graziosi. All of these guys talk about the same thing. You have to fail forward. You can't freeze. Mistakes are going to happen, right? But what happens when you take calculated risk? This week, we're talking about embracing mistakes. And the movie that I felt really highlighted this throughout the entire journey of watching the movies that I watched was Hidden Figures. That's our featured film this week. Hidden Figures is an amazing story about these women that actually were smart beyond their years. They were intelligent and they were doing amazing things. Now, there's a part in the movie where Taraji P. Henson she sees this problem. There's a challenge. They can't bring the people back home safe by the calculations that they have. And so what she's saying is like, listen, there's an error here. And maybe we need to come up with something different. And so in the movie, the guy comes over and he says, listen, maybe we're looking at this wrong. Maybe we should look at not a future problem, but a old mathematical equation. She's like, listen, math is always something that we can count on. Math is always something that we can rely on. And she's like, you know what? I'm not going to ignore where we are, but I am going to adjust where I am and kind of go back to the foundational things. So she went back, she started looking at ways to fix this problem. She's like, oh, Maybe the solution is in a equation that we've had before, but we're thinking about it differently, right? This is where intention influences impact. You want to have the right intentions, the right motives, and the right direction, but sometimes you have to change the way that you look at things. You have to shift your perspective ever so slightly so that leadership develops and then you continue to learn and get better. Press on means staying teachable, staying grounded, being able to move forward despite what has happened. Failing forward doesn't mean letting the mistakes overwhelm you. That means letting the mistakes sharpen you, not shame you. Now, as you think about these things, some of the things that are going to happen is you're going to have small wins and small failures along the way. That's the next step in the process. And so today's episode is brought to you by Leadership Legacy, our impact partner sponsor. Leadership Legacy exists to help organizations grow from the inside through leadership training, customer service development, and culture transformation. Their approach is interactive, immersive, and values-driven, creating experiences that don't just inspire, but actually stick. If you're serious about excellence and bringing the best out of your people, Leadership Legacy is a trusted partner. They equip leaders, empower teams, and enrich cultures. To find out more, you can check out the show notes or go to www.christianrmartinez.com/culture and get to know a little bit more about their business. Now, let's get back to the show. The third video that I want to share with you today is about King Richard, the movie about Serena Williams, where she is playing tennis and developing as a tennis player. And what tends to happen is we sometimes forget to celebrate the small wins and the small failures equally to see where we are in the process. Progress is happening even when it doesn't feel like it. In this particular clip that I'm going to show you, she starts losing the match because of her not being focused, her just kind of like really kind of getting a little bit distracted and flustered with where she's at in the moment. And then she sees her dad, she kind of regroups herself. And in that training moment, what she decides is that she's going to take these small setbacks and start to develop better. Losses don't mean a lack of calling. They are part of preparation. So she starts to lose. Then he's like, calm down. You got this. She gets locked in, focused, and she realizes that those small failures helped her see what she needs to avoid doing moving forward, what she can do to get better. Wins aren't always visible, but they are cemented in the journey. They are part of the journey. Celebrate your progress, not just the results. Okay, I didn't do great in that round. I didn't do great in that, in that event, but I can get better. And you can constantly be evolving and changing. If you don't pause to celebrate small wins, like, you know what? The match isn't over. I'm still in this. I can get after this. The challenge isn't over. I can continue to get better. You will miss the progress happening right under your feet. Now, the last video that I want to show you guys today is about shifting your perspective. And this is where they're sitting on the bench. It's an iconic scene. They're on the park bench, and Will's mistake don't cancel his potential. They just clarify what he needs to heal from. He was criticizing and giving a hard time to Robin Williams in this case. And Robin Williams had taken it harshly. And then he was like, you know what? What you did isn't a bad thing. I thought about it for a little bit, and then I didn't think about it ever again. But what I will tell you is you need to get over where you were. You need to understand that you need to heal and be vulnerable. You need to understand that intelligence and knowledge isn't the only thing in this life. You have to be empathetic. You have to connect with people. You're not going to learn the things that you learn just by going through books. You have to live life. You have to experience life. And I will tell you, that is something that you're going to have to understand. You're going to have to shift your perspective. And Good Will Hunting is a great movie to share with you the importance of shifting your perspective. Mistakes aren't redirections, and they're redirections. They're not roadblocks. I'll repeat that again. Mistakes are redirections, not roadblocks. Now, stop letting false identities cloud the way that you're showing up. Somebody may tell you that you don't belong or that you're not good enough, and it's okay. Sometimes the source matters. Stop letting people compare you to where they are or the journey that they're on, because oftentimes when somebody has a vision, it wasn't a conference call. And I will tell you, oftentimes the advice that you're getting is from people that haven't been where you're trying to go. So again, check the source. You have permission to grow truly into your calling. And my challenge to you this week is to understand that the biggest lessons are often wrapped inside the boldest missteps. So if you go through an opportunity, somebody gives you a hard time about something, somebody challenges something that you're doing, and somebody's going to say that's not going to be successful. Listen, if you believe it's going to be successful, keep going, keep getting after it. Stay focused on where you're trying to go. You want to make sure that you're walking in your purpose, not somebody else's. You don't want to live a life full of regrets. So embrace the failures, embrace the mistakes, and let them redirect you to your purpose. Signing off for now. I hope this serves you. I hope this helps you. Go out and crush it. As we wrap up, if today's episode sparked a dose of belief in you, don't let it stop there. Belief grows when it's shared and lived out. You can tune in weekly for conversations that strengthen your mindset, sharpen your leadership, and encourage you to keep moving forward. And if this episode encouraged you, consider sharing it with someone who could use a reminder to believe again. If you'd like to go a step further, you can also become an impact sponsor, helping us continue this work beyond the podcast. Through your support, we help feed the homeless, partner with schools to provide leadership training, and create opportunities that truly make an impact. And if you're ready to deepen your own belief, consider grabbing a copy of Unstoppable Belief, available at unstoppablebelief.com or on Amazon. Thank you for being a part of this community. Until next time, keep believing, keep growing, and keep moving forward.